Hello and welcome again to the EPL Fanbase Show, the show that keeps you connected with the happening of the English Premier League. My name is FM Steve, and I'm joined in the show by football pundit Josiah. Josiah, how are you?
I'm good, Steve. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm ready for the show.
Me too. I'm happy to be here.
Yes. Your team coming back second half strong. Manchester United. They reminded me that the days of Sir Alex Ferguson, Fergie time.
And yes, we are back to factory setting.
Grabbing the maximum points against Southampton. First of all, we need to, I think the football world lost one of the greatest legends of all time, Diego Maradona. May his soul rest in peace. If I may ask you, how do you remember Diego Maradona? Did you even ever watch him, or you just hear him from the history?
I cannot say I had the pleasure of watching him live at that time because I was either not born or too young. But the beauty about history is that it's recorded, and recorded history is there to be seen. I wasn't there for so many other things, but I know much about it because it's documented. About Diego Maradona, I even before the incident happened, may so rest in peace, I knew about him. I have had people have discussions, especially on who is the greatest of all time. And I've had discussions here and there. And for me, from the information that I have, and this is purely on me, it's my opinion, I completely think that he's the greatest of all time that has ever played the game. And my reasons are as simple as the fact that the circumstances in which football was, the rules of the game at that time, the conditions of the field, the conditions of the facilities, the training gears, the routines, the sports science at that time was not as good as it is right now. So for me, with some of the things that he did, the kind of clubs that he played for, notwithstanding the fact that off the pitch he had his own issues, positive and negative, but on the pitch, for me, some of the things that he did at that time, I dare say I don't think some of the people we think are the greatest of all time would have done it. I think it's all a conversation between Diego Maradona and Pele. The conditions were different. He stands out against so many players who were there at that time who were never mentioned. And for that reason, for me, it's a great loss, but it's life, it happens, but he has left a legacy to be remembered all through. And I think he was an awesome player.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I happen to watch him. Not really because I was very young at that time, but I remember the hand of God, the 1986 World Cup.
Famous one.
Yeah, may his soul rest in peace. Now let's now go to review match day 10.
Yeah.
And I think most of the results went the other way. If you look at just from the first match, Crystal Palace, Newcastle. Newcastle going and scoring 2 goals away at Crystal Palace. And the drama didn't end there. The defending champions, Liverpool, are struggling against Brighton. And then come back from Manchester United. Of course, Arsenal losing again. Then Chelsea and Spurs drawing 0-0. I want us to focus on these 4 fixtures. The Liverpool, Brighton, Arsenal hosting Southampton, Manchester playing away to Southampton, and of course Chelsea hosting Tottenham. So let's start with this Liverpool-Brighton. Did you manage to watch the game?
I did.
Yes, so what was your take on the game? Because Liverpool denied 2 goals and Brighton missing a penalty and then scoring at the nick of time. to deny the defending champions all the 3 points. What was your take in that game?
The game, I didn't carry much into it because this is the Premier League. Again, you can't expect to win all games. It won't happen. There are some games that are very difficult. Some of the PL clubs or teams generally, they will either pack the bus, play a certain system to play against you. And for me, it was a game of very small margins, just like the way games have been these days. It's a penalty decision here. Just to say, there was actually a penalty before which Brighton did not score, meaning if they went one goal up, it would have been different. And for me, I'm not surprised. This is the same Liverpool that got a beating from Aston Villa of around 7 goals. So having a draw of 1-1, for me, it's not a surprise. Brighton played really well. Liverpool were a bit unlucky because we know when it's a game of small margins, some luck needs to work for you at that time. The two so-called disallowed goals for me were never goals because the two guys were offside. Arguably, you would say, I've had discussions where people are saying, should we draw the lines really or give a margin of 10 centimeters to sort the whole issue of offside. Again, this is change is meant to be there. Change will come depending on how things are gonna be. But at the moment, that is the rule of the game, and when the rule of the game is that way, then you cannot say that there was any injustice because that's the rule of the game. If you are offside even with an inch, you are offside. So that was not a goal as of today. So there is no debate on such issues. There are other games you can debate about, but for that game, it was a fair draw using the rules of the game. Brighton deserved their point. Robertson did what he did to Welbeck. It was a penalty. It's clear. You can even hear pundits and former referees say that was. You probably would not see it on the game, as in without seeing the replay and slow motion. But the truth is, when the camera is put there, it's a penalty, and yeah, it's 1-1. This season you have to fight for those points. You have to make sure that you play and you're on from the first minute to the last minute. And did happen for Liverpool. They move on to the next game.
And now talk about that. Liverpool, if you look at the way they've performed this season, actually it was said that from the match day 2, I think they played which team match day 2? They've not won any away game ever since match day 2. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, do you think this Liverpool, because last season they were looking unbeatable, they were looking getting all the 3 points, but it's worrying because from after their match day 2, they've never won any away fixture. And with the likes of dropping points at Aston Villa, dropping points at Brighton, do you think Liverpool has what it takes to retain the title?
I don't know if they will be able to retain the title, but from history, it teaches us that retaining a title is a difficult thing, and especially not just that, retaining a squad for some consecutive years. This I know very well as a United fan during Sir Alex Ferguson era, where he had to rejuvenate a team in one way or another to be able to sustain it for season after season after season. For me, Klopp is with a team for 3 years now. The team I would call, his final, big team, complete team. And you can tell that due to probably motivation, having won the Champions League, the Premier League, they needed some injection here and there, which we are seeing in Jota, probably missing it in Thiago because of injury. But the culprits are still the same. Probably some of the hunger that we saw with the Salahs of this world and the Manes, is no longer there. You have an issue with injuries from Van Dijk, and you have to adapt with it. I honestly even believe that them being top of the league in terms of points with Spurs, that they have really tried, they have really played well. And this being not a normal season where there are no fans and all that, they're actually really trying. So for me, there is nothing to carry home about in terms of Liverpool. They have had injuries just like probably more than the rest of the other clubs, maybe. But they have tried to adapt. For me, they are okay. They can actually retain it, more so because most of the clubs seem to not even know what they want to do. You look at a Man City, who they have very nice fixtures coming now, and you can see them at the top of the table or somewhere close there. So it depends with whether a team is going to be consistent. You'll see the clubs that people are deeming competitors for the league, in the likes of Spurs and Chelsea, whether they'll be able to maintain a run of form. So it's anyone's season to take at the moment. So there is nothing much I can pull out of Liverpool to be able to retain the title.
Yeah, talk about the title. Now, we looked at the two Manchester clubs. Of course, Manchester United, at first they were looking like they were struggling. If you look at their game with Southampton, but from nowhere getting the 3 points with a game in hand. Now you can just say, if all goes well, if they win the game in hand, they will be at 19, only 2 points shy of the leaders. So let's talk about Manchester United, because to understand Manchester United is becoming very difficult. First off, they were like passengers, they were like the team is just not there. And then all of a sudden, Cavani, man of the match, comes and gets all that is needed. I remember last week you were saying something negative about Cavani, but he just proved that old is gold. What do you have to say about Manchester United and Cavani? Because he just came and he carried the team.
Yes. So for me, um, there is a difference between the Manchester United that we have right now, and being realistic about what we can achieve at the moment. And there's a Manchester United that all the fans want to get back to, and we are talking about 10 years away. I mean, behind in terms of history. So being realistic about where we are right now, it's a reflection of the kind of manager we have. Ole is a very hot or cold manager, if I have to say. If you look at his performances, sometimes he surprises us with some wins that no fan or even hater expected, and then loses some of the matches. And the Southampton Manchester United game was a clear manifestation of the kind of season or the kind of team that we have at the moment. Started poorly, just like the way um, we started the season with, losses to Crystal Palace, very disappointing games. Some loss to Spurs that was, very disappointing and very embarrassing to say. To now scoring 3 goals after halftime, that is a manifestation that there is something in the team we just need to nurture and pick it up from there. I would say that credit where due. His changes in the second half, especially to bring in Cavani, you have to commend him for that. I honestly didn't see that coming, and I was, if you look at it, you look at Southampton and you wonder, how did you let that lead slide? But I had someone say that Southampton are only able to play some minutes, and then the other time they are trying to hold on to the game, and then Manchester United came in, they were motivated. You could see leaders in the likes of Bruno, who even after the second goal would call the players and tell them, come back, I want to commend Ole. He had a good game in the second half to pick it up. Even in the first half, we actually did not and knowing what James Ward-Prowse, he's really good at what he does in terms of free kicks. So when you let him get a chance at that point, then there's only one thing you should expect. Corners, if you see the height of the Bendrak and the other defenders, and you see their sizes compared to Fred's and the likes, those were traps that you should not allow such a team to have. But we lost some chances in the first half where Greenwood was not able to capitalize on that, and also got another chance where it came back to Bruno, wasn't able to score. So if you look at the game, objectively, you could see that we had an idea, we had a structure, some kind of structure. We just played, to their strengths, and we were 2 goals down, but we picked ourselves up. That is Manchester United, and I'm only crossing my fingers that if Hot is good, then I hope that Ole and his team remain hot, because when they are cold, I can dare tell you, you'll be shocked. We lose to anything and everything that is wearing a jersey. So, and we can win against the best of the best. And I'm telling you the truth, Manchester United is, in a nutshell, there is a chance that it can play Europa right now or finish top of the table in the Champions League, for example. It's a matter of either can win both games against PSG and Leipzig, or lose both games and finish number 3. You don't know what to expect from Manchester United. So as Manchester United fans, we are holding on to the fact that he will remain hot, and some way he will find a way to motivate, have a good game, and it's a very bad place to be, because it's a place of hope. Because you can tell that there's quality there, you can tell there's a squad there, you can tell that there are players who want to play, you can tell that there's you can see it. But then again, sometimes you see them running and you're wondering, are these guys training really? Like, it's like they are walking. And then another game, they start playing, like the one for Istanbul. We were texting each other and we were like, can you imagine these guys are passing this ball this fast? It's like they train this week, and then next week when you're playing against West Ham, they decide we are not going to train. We have COVID. We're all at home. So I am also surprised with Manchester United at the moment. So for me, I'll still maintain that it's 2 sides of the coin. It just depends which Manchester United is going to turn up. We're just hoping, as Manchester United fans, that more of the good is going to turn up than the bad. Yeah.
Okay, it reminds me of a child. When a child, when you are told go to school, and you are clever, you may decide I'm going to school, I'm going to pass exam, or you may just decide I want to torture my parents, I want to just go and perform bad. So
exactly,
that's Manchester United for you. SP,
yeah.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
Very fine, Steve. How are you? How are you, Josiah?
We are
Good,
fine.
SP.
It's good. It's all the time again. The man with the 9 lives. What do you have to say about Manchester United?
Well, I think Josiah has said it. I can't put it any better. It depends on which Manchester United team shows up when. I think for me, and I need to make this clear, I still don't believe Ole is the quality of manager we need at United. He clearly is not the guy to do what Sir Alex Ferguson has done. And if Ole makes me swallow my words and swallow humble pie, then all well and good. But I don't think he's consistent enough, and he can be consistent enough in a season to for example, challenge for the title. And that Southampton game for me just showed the 2 sides of what Ole is. The first half, where although we started well, nothing seemed to be going right. And the second half, where we dominated, and it was a fantastic watch. I mean, the moment you get that first goal, you are pretty sure that we are winning this game. I that's the confidence I walked in the second half with. The moment Bruno had put it in, I was confident that we were going to score another goal and potentially a winner. But I think it also calls like for like what Josiah is saying. I think you can see at United that there's a squad. You can see that there are players good enough to be able to make this team challenge. And I'm glad that for the first time in a long time, Ole has had the balls to play Bruno and Van der Beek. And for me, the people with the school of thought that Bruno and Van der Beek can't play together clearly aren't football fans and they haven't been watching enough football. I think the last two games have shown me that indeed these two players can play together. And if you ask me, even if Pogba became fit, the three of them can actually make it work. If you play the diamond with Fred at the base of it, where Matic was playing, then you could actually put Pogba on the left, Van der Beek on the right, and Bruno as the 10. So don't give me that crap of these three players can't play together. I mean, good players should be able to play with one another, and they complement each other. So good times for United, if you ask me. But I still believe there's still work to be done. I think there's a problem. There's a serious issue with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's a confidence issue or a fatigue issue. Or he just got there, got the love from the fans, and got tired of showing good performances week in, week out. And this is the thing we've said. He's the only guy in that defense who really does not have a replacement. So whether he plays well or he plays shit, he's still going to play. And so I think I've had rumors start going around that Ole is looking for some competition for him. And personally, I feel maybe we made the wrong choice in letting Diego Dalot go to AC Milan. But great game all along. I was happy with what I saw, especially in the second half. And how good is Cavani? I will finish it at that.